So we have a new character class called Krieg, the Psycho. And I had a couple of different goals when I was thinking about this character. After we finished Gage, the Necromancer, we wanted to give it a little bit of time out in the marketplace and see how people reacted, what they liked about her, what they didn't like about her. And it became clear that more characters was something that people were excited about. Where did he come from? Who is he? We've sort of teased that he was an experiment that Hyperion had and that he's escaped. And that experimentation that was done on him kind of broke his brain, and that's how he became a psycho. But deep down inside of him, there's still this little nugget of the hero that he was prior to all of that. And there's some subtle hints throughout his dialogue that if you play and really get to hear as much of what you can, you might be able to find out a little bit more about who he is and where he came from.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of tremendously specific stuff, but we've dropped some hints, and maybe he doesn't even end up being that thing that we think he is currently, but like we've certainly opened some doors that we can choose to follow up on later. But we're intentionally, kind of like with Zero, not explaining a tremendous amount about his backstory because it's kind of more fun to suss that out on your own anyway.
If you're going to be the Psycho, the guy that's been on the box of both of the games, I wanted to make sure we captured the feelings and the abilities that you've seen from the Psychos in both of the games. So that was one of the goals, was to make sure that he had abilities that you would recognize the enemies have been used against you. So, for example, there are Psychos, the burning Psychos that you find throughout the game that are just on fire. Like, they're on fire all the time, they're running around on fire, and I always thought it was kind of funny that, like, they're just cool with that, it's fine. So I wanted to encapsulate that. So he actually has a whole tree that is about being on fire to try to capture the feeling of that. In Borderlands 2, we have some that breathe fire. And so he has an ability that allows him to breathe fire. And then you've got, of course, the ones that, the main ones that run at you with the buzz axe and just try to club you with it. Well, that's kind of the core. His action skill is about running around at full speed and smashing people with that buzz axe. And there's a few other things as well, like the suicide psychos will run up and hold the grenade over their head and blow themselves up, and we have a skill called Light the Fuse that allows you to do essentially the same sorts of behaviors. So I really wanted to capture the feel and have the skills and game mechanics within him encourage you to play in a very aggressive and reckless style, just the way the psychos are when they're attacking you. And so that's goal number one, is sort of capture the feel of Psycho. Goal number two was to push how the skill trees work and what skills are like in Borderlands, and go a little bit more to the edge, a little wilder, a little bit more experimental. You have to do a little bit more study of the skill trees. You have to make a bit more connections between the skills. You have to think about them in a little bit different way in order to maximize his abilities. And if you are thinking in those ways and can see the connections that aren't quite as clear and obvious as they are in some of the other classes, and then pair that with the right gear, Krieg is the most powerful character we've ever built.
I'll show you what a badass is!